Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for checking me out as always. So, today I'm going to talk to y'all about Smoothe Da Hustler. Much love to my man IBR 7000, that's an interesting name, who respectfully bought me some coffees and actually quite a fair amount of them. And I really appreciate that, dude. Honestly, everything you can give supports. I don't really ask for it because at the end of the day, I do this hip hop channel anyways, just to really have fun and express myself. So, but of course, for anybody that supports what I do, like I said, especially it goes towards the comic, creating the comic. It's a lot of work. So I honestly, truly appreciate it. And he hit me up and was like, yo, I want to hear your thoughts on Smoothe Da Hustler. And I said, yeah, that's actually a really good topic because I had listed Smoothe Da Hustler on my list of greatest rappers of all time, number 49th. And Smoothe Da Hustler is someone that a lot of people don't really talk about, right? So I think I might get into it. By the way, since we're on the topic of the list, I love this list. I think this list is quite good. There are some changes I would make. I'll probably do a video about that another time. No list is perfect. I mean, obviously. And but I think it's a pretty good list, all things considered. And I especially think the top. I think I really nailed the top 15, let's say, right? Anyway, but the point is, there's always room, and I don't want to necessarily. This is not to be disrespectful to Smoothe Da Hustler. I meant Smooth. I wanted to put Smooth and Trigger the Gambler, kind of, because again, broken language, which I obviously will talk about and spend a lot of time on broken language, but broken language was really just like a napalm bomb in my mind, and I was like, man, I mean, just for that song alone, they almost have to make the list. Even though in hindsight, with all due respect, I think I should have put Guru on that list. You know what I mean? And then not to say that I would take Smooth out, but I definitely think I could have put Guru, even though Guru never really said anything that to me went. And again, you're gonna say, well, what has Nelly said that made you go? Nothing really. But again, sometimes it's about the style and what you come with. That's like, you get what I'm saying? And the thing is, Guru on Premier's beats, like Premier's the core. Like Premier's beats are like, right? And once Premier was started working with other people, and no disrespect to Guru, but it does show that Guru was not as ill as like a Nas or a Jay. I mean, this is just obvious, right? Whereas Nelly came out with a completely different style of music, right? Like in hip hop, like J.E. who was doing his beats was completely different. Nelly was sing song. I mean, it was just completely different. So that's why, again, Nelly can be on that list, even though he's not so lyrical. Does that make sense? Anyway, the point is, Smoothe Da Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, shout out to both of them. And they're kind of, when I put that on the list, it really was sort of for both of them. So I'm going to cover both of them today. I'm going to talk about that. Now, the thing that everybody knows Smoothe Da Hustler for is Broken Language. I will get to that in a second. But it was on the album that he released called Once Upon a Time in America. For those of y'all who haven't heard this album, I'll talk about this and I'll go through it sort of track by track, not listening to it necessarily. Now, I will say the Smooth, shout out to Smooth. Some might say he's a one-hit wonder. I mean, look, life, it is what it is in a sense, right? Smooth has accomplished more than 99% of rappers to ever do it. So, and I don't want to say that again. It's not a disrespect. I'm just talking about what the narrative might be to a certain extent. But Smooth is dope. Trigger the Gambler, these guys are dope. And they did do some dope songs. It's not just Broken Language. Although I would argue that Broken Language is clearly the pinnacle of what they did. Now, this album, Once Upon a Time in America, came out in 96, I believe. Most people might have not heard this album because, truth be told, what is the one flaw this album has? Remember, I always talk about the production, the beats. You know, the problem with when rap albums become more underrated or less known, usually the first thing you should check out is do these beats hit, right? And look, shout out to DR period. DR Period was on my honorable mentions list for greatest producers. DR Period is dope. I mean, he made Annie Up. Annie Up's one of the greatest rap records ever. Okay, and Broken Language, which is one of the greatest rappers ever, rap albums ever, or sorry, rap songs ever. So clearly, DR has talent, but I would argue that you can really start to see why having one producer produce an entire album is a lot of work. And I would argue that Once Upon a Time in America, it fails on two major levels, but the first one is that the beats are not great. They're not bad. There's no whack beat on here. But there's very few like, oh, that's a dope beat. Obviously, Broken Languages, woo! Right? But outside of that, a lot of beats are just so-so. They're like, And so this is why, to me, as an aside, as it's kind of preamble to talking about Smoothe Da Hustler, but this is why this one producer album stuff is so silly to me. And again, it's wild because I feel like I'm being gaslit. We're regressing in hip hop. People are like, I want to see Nas do a whole album with Alchemist. Why? You know it's gonna be garbage. I want to see Nas do a whole album with Kanye West. No, Tochi said it was gonna be garbage, and guess what? He was right. It turned out to be complete garbage and forgettable. I'm gonna do a whole album with Hit Boy. Well, guess what? It was garbage. And frankly, the new album that Nas and Primo are cooking up, I don't have much faith in either. And you're talking about my favorite rapper ever and my favorite producer ever. We don't need one producer albums. That is literally going back to breakdancing on cardboard or some shit. Why? It's interesting. These are things that casuals latch onto, and they want to seem so hip hop and so deep. Yo, I want to get a whole album with. No, I don't. I don't want to get a whole album. I want you to get in the studio and record a whole album, but I don't want you to put it out. I want you to select out of all those songs you and Primo, for example, do. 3 of them might be phenomenal. Keep those 3. Leave the other ones on the cutting room floor. Or in the vault. Maybe you release it later. Right? And then go work with Pete Rock. And then go, you get what I'm saying? This idea of the one producer album is ridiculous to me. Because clearly, Illmatic, and this is why you could argue that Nas is the greatest rapper ever, Nas is the guy that actually broke that mold in the sense of created this, again, great ideas come from great rappers and producers. He's the genesis of having multiple producers on one album. And it's a game changer, complete game changer. Because now the songs have nuance and different vibes, but now you're really entering a really fascinating world, and everything is fresh and everything is interesting. So we do not need one producer albums. One producer albums to me are a waste of time. Now, shout out to the RZA. RZA, when he did Cuban Links and Liquid Swords, one producer albums, I mean, insane. Which is why, obviously, RZA is one of the greatest to ever do it. But my point is, ultimately, I would argue that that's not necessarily what hip-hop needs. Okay? It's nice to have different beats from different people, as long as they all kind of get your vibe. Because if you're a great rapper, different producers who are also great can get different things out of you. And that's what's fascinating. So now you can really build out your personality and your persona, and we can really see your world, because we are multi-dimensional people. This is the point. And my problem with Once Upon a Time in America is that it's very one-dimensional, right? This is why it kind of probably didn't sell so well, or it didn't really get the notoriety that maybe they had hoped, because it's kind of one-dimensional. When you start to listen to the songs, it's all the same. It's from Saratoga, I got the guns, I'm in the street, right, over the same sort of beats. It didn't allow Smooth to really stretch his imagination. Okay? Now, let's start off with one of the most basic things where I'm able to tell whether an album is good or not. And again, it's a stretch usually, but I find that it's usually pretty accurate. You check the intro. And this album has a weak-ass intro, with all due respect. This intro is fucking weak. Okay, when you listen to it, it doesn't really have much of a vibe. You're kind of like, okay, this is a little bit boring, right? Again, the great rap albums, any great rap album you can think of. Any great rap album. I mean, let's look at Self-Titled. Was Location the first song on Self-Titled? Probably. Location. You're like, whoa, where am I? Right? Come on, Live Love ASAP, Palace. Let's get right into it. Illmatic, The Genesis. Come on, man. Striving for Perfection. Tony Stark makes you feel, right? Come on. When I was little, my father was the greatest samurai in the empire. Like, I mean, come on. You gotta start off, when you're talking about great rap albums, the first 2-3 seconds is always some shit. So this was kind of, and that's kind of, you kind of start to see where it's going. Now, I would tell you that all these songs, Fuck What You Heard, Dollar Bill, Glocks on Cock, the beats are kind of the rhymes are They're not bad, but again, also think about when this is coming out. This is 1996. We've had Cuban Links already at this point. Liquid Swords, Nas, Biggie. Bro, this is not going to cut it, man. Some of these songs sound like, for example, Glocks on Cock. Even Glocks on Cock, the way he's saying it sounds like some Onyx shit. Onyx had their heyday in what, 92 or 93 or some shit? Like, some of this stuff kind of sounds a little dated, man, respectfully. And again, I don't want to shit on Smooth because this is a celebration, really, of what Smooth has done. Because Smooth has done some great shit, obviously, with Broken Language, is what I'm going to come to next. But these first 3 songs are just, in my opinion, very skippable. And then we come to... oh, man. Okay. Broken Language. Strap up, man. Okay. I had never heard of Broken Language at all until 2000, maybe 2005, 2006. I literally did not hear about this record until, again, this is kind of when stuff started to come onto YouTube. Maybe I saw it on a blog where someone was like, yo, this shit, or I don't even know how I came across this song. But I did see, my point is, I did see this kind of when YouTube was becoming a thing. And people posted it. And I remember watching this video and listening to the song at the same time, right? Those are some of the most powerful experiences when it's like you don't even know what to fucking expect. You're just listening to a song, you're watching the video, and you're just like, and bro, it's like that Mighty Healthy shit. And I was watching this shit like, oh my God, these niggas is going in. The death threat is sender, like begin a 3 knockout count. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh man. I don't think people talk about obviously the rhymes, and the rhymes are incredible, okay? But again, great hip hop starts with the fucking beat. I'm the guy on the internet that has stressed this. None of these other critics were ever talking about production, which is fucking crazy, which shows you how bad this hip hop shit has fallen off. Because I'm not the first person to mention the obvious, clearly, right? Critics in The Source and others were obviously talking about production. Somehow it just got lost in the last 10 to 20 years when this, genre started going to shit. But Apathy talked about this on his Instagram. Actually, shout out to Apathy, great rapper. Let's see if I can find that video. I had meant to pull this up about Broken Language. Come on. And he talked about Cuban Links. Interesting. Let's see if I can find the Broken Language. Chasing Ghosts. If you want to listen to Apathy, I would say Fear Itself and Check to Check. This is a great song. No, okay, this is not gonna work well. Let's see, Apathy, Smoothe Da Hustler. Because he makes a really good point. And again, it's like, this is how you know hip hop. This is how you know someone listens to fucking hip hop. You get what I'm saying? Because this is really how we all listen to it. This is it right here.
My name is Apathy, and I got mad tapes. So Summer of '95 was the first time I heard this record. I don't remember if it was a mixtape, Craig G, SNS, or college radio, but the first thing I noticed, and can't help but notice, is those stabs that come in on the intro.
Exactly.
To the beat. Bum, ba, bum,
Exactly.
bum, 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 bum.
I got something
For it? Yup.
That's right. I definitely got something for that.
That piece right there.
Alright, what you gonna say?
So again, if you're a hip hop head, you notice certain things. Those stabs. Gun, 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 gun. That's rap. That's the feel music, man. So anyways, I'm gonna react to this because I actually really love this video. And I also think, aside from the beat being phenomenal and the rhymes clearly being phenomenal, like just on some other shit, I actually think this is a fucking ill video. This, like, that's why when you watch this, you're just like, this is Brooklyn fucking 95. Like, it's like a time capsule because it's so brilliant. And it's simple, but it's like, this is the shit that, anyway. And I love, by the way, I'm so particular on this because I saw this video way, like, literally one of the first to ever drop on YouTube. You'll notice I have a comment here. Anyways, the video version. I have a comment right here. Where it starts off with a little bit, I don't know who added that. There's a little bit of ging, ging. They added a little bit of music right before the song starts. I'm like, yes. Anyway.
Yo, throw that next level track up in
Next fucking level.
Yo, you got something
for it?
No doubt. Throw it up in that piece.
Uh-huh.
You got something for it? Yeah, alright. That's right. I definitely got something for that piece.
Right there. Oh, see, Doug Park. Remember, Doug Park was uploading a lot of stuff on Daily Motion and YouTube. That's right, 2007. Okay, so that's when I saw it. I'm pretty sure because it was Doug Park. Doug Park had a video. I'm still trying to find it. I don't know if it's still around. But it was Common Resurrection Large Pro Remix. Is this up now? The video. Everyone's got the Extra P remix, but the video. Ay. Okay. See how I go off on the... This is when you hear so much rap, you just go off on fucking mental tangents and shit. The Large Pro remix, there's two remixes to Resurrection. Classic song by Common. They're two remixes, both done by Large Professor. One of them is the Extra P remix, and one of the other one's called the Large Pro remix. They're both dope. I personally prefer the Large Pro remix. And there's a video that Doug Park also, he merged the Common Resurrection video, which is a great video, with the Large Pro remix. And it just takes the song to a whole other level, in my opinion. Anyway, so let's go.
Put up in that piece. I got something for it. Yeah, alright. That's right. I definitely got something for that piece right
Hear
there.
that? Ding ding like that's why I made that note. Yes, that little beat moment sets off the song crazy, man.
Got something for that piece.
He's right there.
Alright, what you gonna say?
I gotta blast the shit. Okay, all right. First of all, that's hip hop. The stabs. See, these are certain things that casuals wouldn't really understand, or they, like, especially when hip hop was hip hop. The scratches, the like it's just, we're shaking shit up, right? And people who don't listen to rap, they're like, whoa, what the fuck? Anyway.
That piece right there.
Yeah, man.
Alright, what you gonna say?
Dope. This reminds me of the building I used to live in Prospect Heights. Shout out to Brooklyn. It's still the same. That's what I'm saying. It's simple. This is like, hip hop is like, this is why we fuck with it so hard. Especially, again, as someone living overseas, or now at the time I was here, stateside. But the point is, this is the stuff, like, you're seeing how black people expressing with creativity how they live. Oh, this is your neighborhood. This is what your neighborhood's like. Oh, what's going through your mind and shit, right? It's simple. They're standing right in front of the building. This is who I am. This is where I'm from, right? My name is Fat Cat Paulie, and this home's where I'm from, or whatever, right? Like, this is basic. This is why rap is so powerful. When you're really good, you're putting on for not just you, but you're putting on for your whole neighborhood, right? when shout out to Scarface, I talked to my boy, my partner Jahari, but like someone like Scarface coming out of Southside Houston puts the whole Houston on the fucking map. When you're that dope, now you represent all of Houston. We get to see, oh, okay, that's what it's like out there. Cool, cool. And because you're dope, now I want to travel and see what it's like because you've experienced, you've put it eloquently enough, right? This is why rap was so, at one point, it really was a bridge between communities and people. Now it's just goofy shit and social media and clout and Fantano. Okay, I'm gonna go into this song. Let's go. The fits is fly. Base your eyes on the guy. We'll try the pussy clot try. Dangerfield swept my way. God is cremated on the Friday to do a die way. The death setup, sender, the beginner, three knockout count winner, the gun reacher, teacher, the church reacher, the crack off coffin seeker, the body polluter, the gas shooter. Is that 9? That's 9 right there. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I gotta pause. The genius of this song, by the way, is it doesn't even go into the titles because now it's just titles. They're just the this, the this, the that, the this, which is fucking brilliant. But it's how he starts. Base your eyes on the guy. Like, you can write that on a wall in graffiti. Base your eyes on the guy. That's a great line. And it's a great way to open up. And this is how, again, he doesn't go right into it. It's like kind of setting you up, okay, Dangerfield stepping my way. Bodies get cremated on the Friday. The do or die way. Shout out to Bed-Stuy, right? And then it's like your death threat. And then he gets into the titles. And he just keeps going. And then you're like, wait, he's just going to keep going? What the fuck? Mountain mover. Every bar here is crazy. I invite you to read this on your own. Because every bar, this is another thing I loved about this song. There's all the titles are fly. Every single one. There's no corny title here. Every one of them is fucking unique, and they're all fly. The body polluter, the gat shooter. Come on, fam, come on. Smash it, the ass waxer. Sash up, blaze a razor slasher, the human asthma. Oh, I love this. That video effect. The human asthma? At the money stash, human asthma, breath taker, body dump waster. The disgrace getter, the lady shitter, fucking babysitter, the human junk generator, the ass kicker, the dog rapper, ox carrier. L, Big L, shout out. The stitch provider. The man next to murder. This is the man I don't want clear. Then the month man, the bunk man, the Brooklyn representer. Dancing. He's out this fucking winner. I love this. 34. The stunt hitter in 34 days in the month, man. 34 days in the month. Again, this is, you know when Benny the Butcher had that weird ass thermometer, cold as a white person's thermometer, it's corny as shit, it doesn't make sense, it's dumb, okay? That's forcing, that's when you're just too hard. You're trying too hard. Because you don't have bars, you don't have intellect. But when the dude is like 34 days in the month, you know deep down you're like, yo, there's no such thing as 34 days in a month. But basically the idea is, it's funny, but the idea is, listen, I'm hitting stunts all the fucking time, yo. Like, like 34 days in the month is like, I'm hitting that shit all the fucking time. It's 24/7. It's beyond 24/7. So again, it's like, it's all part of what you're trying to say and the swagger and what's funny about it. And it's 34. It's not like he said 100 days in a month. That'd be too much. But 34 is a nice little number because you know that the months go up to 31 at most. But 34 is a little bit more than, just a little bit more. Again, this is part of the intellect.
Cheaters, the beat fast beater, the streets we keep it. The body the
Gonna reread the blood skeeter.
The weak smoker, the
real
little
choker.
The spot stop broker.
The rugged picture poser.
The clock scrambler.
Royal flush, same suit, poker gambler. The movements, bro. Camera. Single lock Tesla.
The drug jungle. The crazy thug.
This is the rings. Bracelet wanderer.
The chamber smoker. The mansion having sauna soaker.
The stuff on it. The style clamor. Block commander.
The razor spitter. The fast
Times a minute.
The transmitter.
No line of vagina hitter.
The ass kicker. The
In the dog sicker.
The rich nobody hitter. Hang with digger and the booty niggas. The trigger happy.
Oh, I love this line. Hey, that get your head now. Ah! What? The damn singer. The car canine man. The fly man. The expert singer. The white girl gang banger.
The virginary fucker. The Jesus hanger. The virus kicker. The idol flipper.
Clubs, baby, rival ripper.
The black history.
Baba.
The racial thinker. The 9
This is my favorite part of the entire song. The hellfighter, the Egyptian writer, the Egyptian spirit in the fighter, the black body, black tongue. That's my shit. The brand was with the life and death beginner. Let's go. King Hook, the hookup, oh your hookups, hookup. The movements, bro. The tologist without the derma. Undercover. The Big Daddy Kane. What? Yo, I'm still hyped after listening. This is like, it's almost 20 years since I've heard the song. Like, for the first time. And I'm still like, can you imagine? Imagine when they drop this? I wish I was there. Just drop this on people. People are like, probably, what the fuck? That's what I'm talking about. Street records give you energy, man. Energy lasts a lifetime. That's the problem with when you try to sell out and do all that pop shit, because those pop records, most people are casual. They don't need this fury and this energy, because it's like oh, it's too much. They just want to get the little drinks, have them in the background, and then go on with their lives. That's okay. You got to entertain the casual sometimes here and there. But in general, the real records are the things that make you last. Those are the ones that we still remember. Okay. The Out of One Clan. I love that. I mean, there's so many things in here that I just love, okay? The spot stockbroker. The spot stockbroker. So he's like, yo, I'm in them streets. I'm so much like in them streets. I'm like a stockbroker. You see, just even that little Benny the Butcher and these guys could never come up with something like this. Just three words tells me, yo, this motherfucker knows how to. This person's a thinker. They're smart. The rugged picture poser, the card scrambler, royal flush, same suit poker gambler. And then he's in the camera going like, Shout out to Royal Flush. All this shit is fucking amazing, bro. My favorite line, obviously, is the Hellfighter, the Revelation Rider, the Egyptian Spirit Inviter, the Black Body Bag Tire. That speaks to me. I'm a writer. Because that's what we do. We write that revelation shit. The Hellfighter, the Revelation Rider. Now, I remember someone saying, I don't know if it was, I saw this online, but why this was such a brilliant idea too. There's multiple levels, and I'm still going to go on about broken language, because you can't really say enough about how brilliant this shit was. Was it Fred Hampton that had the this and the that? Oh, fuck. The titles. I feel like he said something like this in a speech. We're gonna, if you find for my peoples out there, if you find it, you'll find what I mean. But from what I understand, I don't know if they got it from here, or if they were inspired and didn't really realize it. But from what I understand, it was Fred Hampton, one of these Black Panther types that kind of had the this, the that in one of their speeches. Just, kind of throwing it out there because these guys were on some other shit, right? And so they essentially, Smoothe Da Hustler. I'm not saying that they got it from them necessarily, but again, that theory of black intellectual and sort of revolutionary thought, that's what is so crazy about the song, because it's the fury of thought, right? I can analyze the titles, right? Powerful men have titles, okay? That's why this song makes you feel so fucking powerful, because any man that's powerful has titles. But you know who really has titles? God has titles. And that's what Broken Language is really about. It's about omnipotence. Like, that's why this whole shit, they're rapping as though, like, they are the most gangster gods ever. And they're everywhere. They're omnipotent. They're the omnipotent street niggas. They're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. They're the hookups of your hookups hookup. It's fucking crazy. It's like, I'm the guy, I'm the source, I'm the one, like Neo. I'm the hookup of the hookups hookup. Oh my God. And this is why even when they throw in all the Christian references, the Bible ripper, and they're smashing your gods because they themselves are the real gods. You get what I'm saying? See why this shit just had niggas going like ape shit even to this day? Now, the video, like I said, tough. This is why you want to do street videos, because this is, like, again, one of the best street lyrical videos ever. You really want to do stuff like this because this is what sells the culture, right? This is what gets people to really understand how rap works, right? Because a lot of times when rap is weird, but when you do a video, it puts stuff into context, because now because a lot of the tougher hip hop songs, if you really listen to like the best, and this is why we love Illmatic in particular, but the real creme de la creme of hip hop is about the environment. The beats are the score. They're like the score that illuminate an environment, an emotional environment, but also even a physical environment, right? And so when people are not used to thinking in that, right? Like, think about it. Like, most people who listen to pop music and things like that, they're not used to listening to music as score, as a presentation of an environment or a physical space or an emotion. Like, they're not really used to that shit. Right? And so that's why when you make videos and that for songs that require you to understand the environment of the song in itself, and the videos show it, they show the swagger, they show the energy and emotion, that's why people go, oh, and these street records last the longest and they're most important. This is why when Gunna made Thought I Was Playing, which is the best song he's ever made. It's the hardest record he's ever made. There should have been a video for that shit. It's a massive missed opportunity on his part. Because that's the song, frankly, that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, people are going to be like, yo, have you heard that shit? Of all the songs he's ever recorded. I'm not going to say that it's necessarily going to be his biggest song, but it's definitely one of the best songs easily he's ever recorded. There should have been a video for that shit. Flat out. Now, I want to watch this video with y'all a little bit and show you guys what I was talking about, this Broken Language shit.
Rap is out of control.
The Trick started the record. I brought the track home.
And this is why, to be honest with you, I mean, I put Smoothe Da Hustler on the list. Again, it was to show it was smooth. It was for both of them, Smooth and Trig. And in a way, for that song, I almost give Trig a little more credit because he started the fucking record. It's one thing because starting a song is, like, arguably the hardest part. I've tried to write raps before, like, starting it is fucking hard. So for him to hear that beat and think, and then base your eyes on the guy, and he talks about how he even came up with that because I think his sister had something that said base your eyes on a piece of paper. Again, that's that fucking observant shit. And he looked at it and was base your eyes, and he was like, base your eyes on the guy. That's fire. That's fire. Anyway.
Okay.
And you know, we was playing cards.
Sitting in the house, we was playing cards with each other.
Yeah. And he just started busting, base your eyes on the guy. And when he started getting into breaking the language down, I just picked it up and we just kept going. And we was like, we should do a hook. Should we do a hook?
I was supposed to be on it.
Yeah. Christ was supposed
I'm
to be
so glad they didn't do a hook. Oh my God. I love it. Shout out to DV alias Christ. I think now, who knows? Maybe he would have come up with something super ill, but I doubt it. Broken language is lightning in a bottle. It's literally like the electricity of the gods, that kind of shit. You don't do choruses for that shit, bro. You don't need that. There's no chorus. It's just get it out. Right? And so I think it would have fucked up the flow, personally.
My mom was calling me.
You had him in front of the house waiting.
Where the hell are you
at that time, his mom's was like, where the hell you at? Like, it's about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
I had to go home. When I came back the next day, they was like, yo, you gotta hit it. I was so pissed off.
Everybody in New York was saying you gotta hear this shit.
You know what? Well, after we finised the record, it wasn't it wasn't when we had wrote it. It was after we finished recording it. We was just like, like this don't even sound like something different to us.
Oh shit. That's what you need. That's what you need, man. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear this from people. That, oh my God, wait till people hear this shit. This is used to be the energy. This is what we were waiting for. I'm telling you this even as when I was, because I really started to really dive and know, like, even though like I said, I heard rap in the early 90s. I started to listen to it super heavy in 97, 98. And then I really started to fucking like go deep and like really understand shit like 2004-ish. And my point is, even in 98, 99, that was the energy. Like, yo, we can't wait to hear what so-and-so is coming with, because that was the vibe. The fans wanted it. We wanted that. Oh, we can't believe you coming with this shit. What the fuck? That's the energy. I mean, are these new guys really coming with that? No. That's why their stuff is so weak.
We was like, yo, this don't even sound like nothing in the area of what's going on now. I'm like, yeah, this is the one. We're going to hold this. We're going to put this on the B-side. We're going to get you a deal. We're going to get Christ a deal. That was the mentality. And, I mean, it worked. It worked. But, you know, I mean, that goes to show you, no is just someone's response, and that's just one person's response. Yes. I mean, a lot of people was saying no, but when you believe in something, I truly believe that you can overcome any no. You know what I mean? And we actually proved that theory correct. So,
yeah, belief in self, man. And that's, again, broken language. That's that supreme belief in self. And that's why, again, this will always live forever. We cried together. I'm such a dweeb. Who whacked out my mural? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Niggas don't want to hear that. Life's hard enough, man. We need that belief. We need that confidence that we can go out and do things and study. Not just bust guns. I mean, that's kind of where hip-hop started to, not just that. I'm not talking about that shit. But I'm just talking on the basic level. Human beings need that silverback gorilla shit. Like, all right, we're going out. I'm going to go out and make a name for myself. Or I'm going to make out and provide for my family. Or I'm going to go out and learn this thing really well or whatever. That's that confidence. You need that belief. And frankly, listen, this gets into conspiracy theory, fucking X-Files shit. But I think there's a concerted effort from hostile countries to demoralize the West. I really think this is why you're seeing people like Kendrick and these whack-ass artists, Doechii and all these shits, who are all, I'm so depressed, I'm so current. And people are like, that's hot. It's not hot. It'll never be hot. Okay? We don't need that shit. We need, yes, of course, we're human. We also need to express our sorrows and pains. But again, it's to go somewhere with it. It's not just to stay in trauma. It's retarded. Like, who thought this shit would ever be hot? Give me a fucking break. Would you rather listen to broken language or we cry together? Or someone whacked out my mural? Come on, fam. Come on. Now, again, talking about broken language, bro. Oh, another thing I loved about this, by the way, when they do the thing live, because they do cut out the white girl gang, that's just crazy. So they do have a little version. I'll show you what I mean. That I thought was kind of interesting in replacement of that. But I have to say, I still like the original one. But you'll see what I mean. Notorious Mini Diamond, Brownsvillest, Bruce Willis. Hey! This is cool. This is cool. But I'll take the White Girl Game Anger one. But yes, that's fine. The illest, Brownsvillest, Bruce Willis. That shit's fire. Again, you gotta come with fucking, and you think Bruce Willis Die Hard, like, you know what I'm saying? Now, this song obviously has. I spent so much time talking about this because you really cannot underrate how big the song was and still is, right? Method Man and Redman did their own version of Broken Language in 2008. And I think a lot of it was also, I think about the timing because I remember seeing Broken Language in 2007. And a year later, I think, again, some of that stuff, people were watching YouTube and going, whoa, what the fuck? I never knew about this song, right? And maybe they hadn't seen it in a while for themselves, too. Because you have to remember, like, prior to YouTube, this is why YouTube is the great nostalgia machine. Like, prior to YouTube, there was really nowhere to go and find this stuff, right? If you didn't have it on tape, it's like it didn't, not that it didn't exist, but it's like, how would I go listen to it? So they probably were like me and were like, oh my God, I remember this fucking song. The song's incredible. Yo, Redman, we should do our own version of this shit just to represent it and show love. And that's probably how that came out. So I remember listening to this at the time, and it did get some kind of notoriety for Method Man and Redman. And actually, I think then they dropped Blackout 2 around like maybe a year later or something like that. But yeah, it was cool. Like Redman and Method Man are obviously great rappers, but it also, in a funny way, the beat's almost too hard for them. And also because it's a different, again, this is why production is king. Because you have to know what beats fit your vocal tone and your energy. Redman sounded better on this beat, in my opinion, than Method Man. And the reason for that is because Redman's voice is more authoritative in a way, right? Not to say that Method Man doesn't have, but Method Man's voice is more relaxed and blunted and shifty. It's that ninja shit. It's like, I'm kind of in the cut, I'm in the dark, you don't really know where I'm at, but I'm gonna come out when I strike you, right? And Redman's just like blunted and crazy, right? And that's kind of the vibe that this beat requires. It requires that real, like, tough Brooklyn, very Brooklyn shit. And that's how you gotta really be aggressive on it. And that's why Method Man, it sounded cool, but it's not his kind of beat. Method Man needs a torture or like, What the Blood Clot, where it's just kind of like blunted and mystical and all that kind of shit. Anyway, Broken Language, you've heard Drake on Omerta have kind of broken language bars. You've heard Nas. I posted this in the community section. That's actually why I posted that, because I was about to do this video and I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, Nas had that, the Southern Girl Luster, Tongue Taster. Like he did that shit. And like, again, when you listen to hip hop, the moment you hear this stuff, you're like, oh, that's the broken language flow. Great, sort of reference, right? I'm Silk Shirt, Summertime Sunny, Sun Chaser. Right? Pretty Girl, Tongue Taster, Southern Girl Luster. And again, this is what makes Nas dope. Nas didn't just copy, right? He took it and flipped it in his own way. And he actually made it, like, instead of the hardest gun bars ever, he flipped it to, like, sort of like a more, like, positive and happier, like, I'm living life now. Like, life is great type of vibe. Right, City Girl Lovemaker, the matinee watcher, the good weather on a Saturday afternoon shopper. That's fucking great. That's shit I want, right? Still miss Big Papa. And then he hits you with that, and you're like, yeah, man. Right? So again, Nas, one of the greatest, obviously easy ever. Lil Kim did it with Came Back For You, Mimosa Sippin'. One of my favorite bars forever. So, I mean, and things like this, Hedley did a song. Y'all might not remember this, but I remember this song because it got played a little bit at like parties back then. So this is right. I mean, they got that from Smoothe Da Hustler. In fact, they actually approached Smoothe Da Hustler about it, apparently. So again, great stuff has, it trickles. This is why you want to make great art, because it trickles into other things. You just never know, right? But when everyone makes garbage, that garbage trickles into other things. And everyone else starts making garbage. See how human beings are? Anyway, back to this album. I went on a whole broken language tangent, but I had to because that song is fucking phenomenal. Now, this song, Speak My Peace, this is actually like I would say a skit, an intro, but I like this one because it was nice. You know, it was just very chill. Right?
Speak my little piece with y'all real quick.
That's how to do it, in my opinion. You know, like if you're gonna have these skits, again, I was kind of shitting on the skits on the new Raekwon album, but I mean, the skit without music to me is boring, unless it's like it's really funny, and really poignant. But you know, if you put a nice beat in the background, you know, it's better than just straight up talking. The next song on here, Never Die Alone. That wasn't it. Food for Thoughts. Food for Thoughts was, but it's kind of like a precursor to Jadakiss's Why. If you listen to the song, you know what I mean. He's like, why this, why that? So, I mean, Smooth had, you could tell they were conceptual thinkers. They had ideas, which I'm sure other rappers probably borrowed from and said, oh, that's kind of cool. Obviously, they did with Broken Language, so why wouldn't they? Of course, they went back to the source and were like, oh, yeah, I kind of like that. I'm going to make that and develop it. But I think it was underdeveloped. Only Human was another one here. This was okay. Only Human. I would say this is probably like the third best song on here. Broken Language is a clear first. I'll get to the second best one after this. If you know, you know. But I would say Only Human is probably the third best. It's okay. The beats, it's okay. Right? When it kicks in, this, alright? Alright? Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. But yeah. And then Hustler's theme, this was the beat that gets played in the beginning before Broken Language. I didn't like the song. In fact, he has a line here where it's like, y'all niggas can't hack it. Fuck tennis, I bring the racket. And I was like, that's Nicki Minaj level bars. That was a kind of a whack rhyme. But anyway, at the end too, he does also a little bit of Broken Language. And I also found this was kind of like some of the songs towards the end, he'd throw in that sort of that kind of flow pattern, which again, but not nearly as interesting as the actual song Broken Language. Murder Fest again was just kind of meh, more Broken Language shit at the end. Hustlin', meh. And then we get to, you know, the other dope song, right? Let me see if I can find a video for this, actually. My Brother, My Ace. Right? You need that beat. Again. Listen to that beat. You're my brother, right? No doubt. We getting down, no doubt. You already know, right? I mean, you can tell the quality of the beats. And again, this is why I say having one producer is too much work, man. Imagine if Smoothe Da Hustler had made an album where he got two beats from DR Period. He got Broken Language, and then he got My Brother, My Ace. And then he went and worked with Pete Rock, for example, and he got a beat from Pete Rock. And then he got a beat from Primo. We would be talking about a completely different career, respectfully. Now, again, I'm sure at those times this is why what Nas did was just so revolutionary, right? One producer albums are not it. I don't get why we're going backward, but we're going to go backward because we're drowning in a sea of casuals and shills who don't know any better. That's why we're going backward. And so anyways, they even, speaking of backward, these guys rhyme backwards, you know, are we doubt, you know, no doubt, no. They even kind of do the backward thing before Nas, but again, not necessarily. Nas took it to, again, Nas is a superior rapper. He took it to a whole nother fucking level with Rewind, right? So that's the Smoothe Da Hustler album, which, again, like I said, I frankly, if I'm giving my honest opinion on Smooth, if you ever see this, don't hate me, bro. I love your stuff. I really and truly do. I got a lot of love for these guys. I don't think the album was that strong, and I can understand why it maybe was received the way it was received, but it has Broken Language, which is clearly one of the greatest rap songs ever. Like, no contest. Now, since IBR 7000, to really give you your bang and money's worth and stuff, I started to think, I said, well, whatever happened to Trigger the Gambler? Because Trigger the Gambler, did he ever come up with an album? I remember back in the day when I was looking for Trigger the Gambler stuff, there was only a couple of songs, and I was surprised, and I heard his album got shelved. But then it turns out that actually it was shelved, but some of those songs have made their way onto YouTube, which is really interesting. So let's talk about Trigger the Gambler, right, since we're here. And life is a 50-50 gamble. Now, this album was shelved. I can understand, in my honest opinion, I can understand why this was shelved. They probably saw, and I think he got a Def Jam deal from what I understand. Now, Trigger the Gambler and Smoothe Da Hustler were also working with Foxy, apparently, and writing for her and all that kind of stuff. So it's not, again, they're great rappers and ended up doing other things. But my point is, this album was supposedly shelved. And truth be told, I don't really think this is a great album either. You know, again, if I'm giving my honest opinion. Now, unlike the Once Upon a Time in America album, this intro is fantastic.
Yo, I'm saying this rap shit was all designed any motherfucking way. You can't trust nobody. It's just like the motherfucking crack game. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got to bust your motherfucking gun every time. You know what I'm saying? A nigga slip up with the lip or some shit, kid. You can't keep doing that shit, man. I'm gonna fuck about these niggas. You know that, Smooth. Fuck, I'm saying, kid. Yo, you just can't fly off the hinge, don't like that, son. We're trying to make motherfucking power moves. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but a lot of these crap motherfuckers I do not trust. Yo, a lot of these niggas come around us, man, trying to slap fives every motherfucking day. I'm saying that that's what the motherfucking game is about, though.
Yeah, I like that beat. I just like, it's just it's ominous, and it just has this kind of like, and it fits. You know, this is a guy who's, again, Trigger the Gambler. He's like an old school, almost Chicago 1930s gangster. Again, people really thought about this stuff. They thought about how they were presenting themselves, right? Like, the level of imagination is just not there with modern rap at all anymore. So, the intro is dope, and then it goes into a song called Hitman for Hire, which I didn't care for. I thought it was okay. It's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. It's okay. And then there's also Broken Language 2, which was on here, which was not good. Broken Language 2 is not good. And then you released that, I guess, shortly after. That was not good at all. What was on here again as well? Oh, 50-50 Gamble, the song. 50-50 Gamble. I never heard it before, and I thought this was quite a good song, actually. This song, 50-50 Gamble. I recommend listening to this. I do think.
Didn't I tell you to talk to the guy, not kill him? Now what they gonna think
Shame
about
Def
it?
Jam. That's interesting. There you got Def Jam deal.
So they can point their fucking finger at me and say that's the bad guy. Right there. That's the bad guy.
Ah, that beat. Ah. You know, DR Period is really good with voices. I find that my brother, my ace, he has. Anyway, he's just a great producer. So listen to that song. That song is fire. And bust every day now and bust. Come on now. I remember that. Again, this was right when YouTube was out. I was like, someone uploaded this. This was okay. This was an okay song. But I can also understand someone being like, huh? But it's cool. The crazy legs in them, dancing in the shit. Let's go. And I love that with the black, and even the way they look is fly. I mean, they're taking it back to hip hop. Hip hop is about dancing at the end of the day. You gotta move, right? I mean, that's just the truth. So, you know, the dweebs who don't go outside, who don't know how to dance, or just don't even want to dance, and who are just like, we cried. Like, you're not hip hop. You never will be. I'm sorry. And the last song on here that was also, I guess, worth talking about, that was sort of known, was My Crew Can't Go For That, which was apparently a hit back then. And I did hear it once or twice. Not at the time, but certainly, let's say sometime in the mid-2000s. I'm not crazy about the song, but it's okay. It's fine. And this was apparently a hit for them. So they had some shit. They had some shit. But what I think is interesting is this guy says in this website, and shout out to the person who wrote this. Again, it's not no disrespect, but essentially this individual was like, I don't know why this was shelved. Like, this album was phenomenal. It shouldn't have been shelved. And it's like, that's because, respectfully, you don't really have taste. Or I should say your taste is not, it's not strong. Like, for example, the beats, I would not give the beats an 8 out of 10 on this album. The beats on this album are like a 6 out of 10, if we're being honest. Right? Like, yeah, it's like a 6 out of 10. Like, really. The rhymes are like maybe an 8 out of 10. Right? They're not the craziest rhymes you've ever heard. They're just not. They're 8 out of 10 at best. I might give it a 7.5. Okay? So, again, back then, the tastemakers in hip-hop, people have to understand, they filtered through so much stuff. This is why hip-hop was so dope. You had guys like me who are probably even tougher critics than me. Right? Because I go back, I would say my quality standard, I look at it like I'm like the source. When the source was really on it, right? For the most part. And they didn't just give mics out to people just to give them. Right? That's where I'm at. So I know a lot of you have left out a long time ago. You've watered down your standards, and that's why you're shocked at what I think and how I think about shit. But I never really left those standards. Okay? Because that's the bar, that's the standard. And so my point is, the people in the business at the time, this is why rap was so good in that era, was because you had executives, you had A&Rs, you had people, the writers who had a fucking standard. And they could tell. You can tell when you listen to some of these songs. Hip-hop, when you really listen to hip-hop long enough, certain shit becomes obvious. And I'm sure these people were like, this album that you turned in, not the greatest. I mean, he says 3 out of 5 mics, which is actually exactly what I would have given this. Says 3 out of 5 mics received from the source was grossly and obviously underrating this album. And it's reviews like this that made it look like 50-50 Gamble was an average, unimportant LP on the run-up of its release. It was. Again, I say that with all due respect. Life's a 50-50 Gamble is like not very good. It's pretty average. Again, what year was this supposed to come out in? 1986? Right. Okay, following 1986. So this would have been, let's say, 96, 97. You're telling me that Life's a Gamble was going to compete with fucking all the shit that came out in 1986? Let's look at rap albums in 1986, because I forget that year, to be honest with you. But I know All Eyes on Me came out that year. You're not getting heard. I'm sorry. Hell on Earth. You're not getting heard. Are you kidding me? All Eyes on Me. ATLians. It Was Written. Reasonable Doubt. Hell on Earth. The Illuminati. You're not getting heard. Right? Even the score. Stakes is High. I'm sorry. Muddy Waters. Wrath in the Math. You're not getting heard. The Awakening. The Awakening might even be a better album than Life's a Gamble. Respectfully. Look at what came out. Firing Squad. Iron Man. Nocturnal. Collage. At the Speed of Life. Soul on Ice. I mean, these are some fucking great albums. Or with at least 1 or 2 songs that made people go, whoa. Hardcore even. Collage with Bahamadia. Bahamadia's Collage is better than this album. Right? Beats, Rhymes, and Life even. Legal Drug Money was fire. What was Legal Drug Money had Beamers, right? Come on, guys. The Coming, Busta Rhymes. Come on. These people are not stupid, man. And again, this is the problem. Like, we have people now who are, again, on the internet who give their opinion. And it's okay to give your opinion, but again, those people back then, they knew what the fuck they were talking about. And frankly, I would have looked at it and been like, yeah, this song, this album, this is a 3 mic album. I don't know if we want to put this out. Again, I say this with all due respect. So, long story short, Trigger the Gambler, Smoothe Da Hustler. I absolutely love Broken Language, and I definitely love some of their songs after that as well. They definitely influenced the game, and they did a great job for what they've done. And they should be proud of that because, like I said, only certain few people even get to their level. Okay, and of course they ended up doing other stuff behind the scenes with other rappers as well. So that's all good, right? And they're legends in their own right. And I shout out to Brownsville, Saratoga Ave, all that. So I never really went into Brownsville. I got cousins and stuff who live in East New York. Shout out to them, but I never was really in that area like that. But anyway, much love. And I hope y'all enjoy, this is the real shit, man. This is that rap shit that makes people go, yeah, 20 years later, 30 years later, we still come back to these songs because they were so potent, right? And that's why it's important to come out with potent shit. It's not enough to just make a cool song, yo, right? Like, you have to shoot for the stars, because even if you don't hit the stars, you at least fly over the tallest tree, right? And everyone benefits. Like I said, man, I always talk about my own shit, Blood World. I'm shooting for the motherfucking stars. Trust me. And, I mean, who knows? If I get there, great. If I don't, but at least it's going to be above the tallest tree in the sky somewhere. Because that's what you got to do, man. Right? And that's that era. That was the magic. And I know that magic is still in us because we're human. It could come back to that. But we got to get these untalented shills and weirdos and gatekeepers the fuck up out of here, because these people are so dumb, they don't know shit, and a lot of them are just riding the bandwagon to protect their own asses, right? So let's get back to the real. Support the real. And on that note, my man, I really appreciate you, IBR 7000. You're supporting the real. You know that I give you guys the real. I don't ever make some shit up. You don't have to necessarily agree with me, but one thing you know is I don't bullshit, and I'm smart. I'm very smart. I'm smarter than a lot of people on this rap shit. So anyway, love y'all. Peace.